Hey, welcome back to another video hosted by Spellstore Miniatures. My name is Dan. Today we're going to be covering some Kickstarters ending in May of 2021. There's a few really cool big ones in here. I'm going to do this a little bit differently of putting the miniatures up front, then a little bit more of your role playing, then the more print at home style ones. Up first is from our friends at Privateer Press, Riot Quest ChiliCon Carnage. This is an expansion to the current Wintertime Wasteland block going on in the Riot Quest game. It's introducing a few new models, including some new boss fights, along with gear expansion, and of course their typical loot vault that they've been doing. You can join in for $50 for the starter set, or you can go up to $229 for the big bowl of ChiliCon Carnage, getting you basically everything that is being released. Not to mention, you hit that gold level for those prize tickets. This is expected to be delivered November 2021. So far, they've been pretty close to their timeline. So if you're a fan of Riot Quest or War Machine and Hordes, or if you're just a fan of kind of a wild, crazy game that doesn't require too many models, but has a good, simple way to play, then this is definitely one to check out. Next up is Hellboy, the board game expansion and dice game. So this adds a new challenge for Hellboy, the board game, which was kickstarted a couple years ago. It offers 4 expansions plus an all-new dice-based game. This is going to run you $111, gets you all those expansions in the game, which includes a variety of new miniatures and cards based in the Hellboy universe inspired by the epic BPRD graphic novels. You will have to wait a little bit as delivery is set for June of 2022. Be sure to click the link below to check out this Kickstarter and all the exclusives that come along with it, along with all the stretch goals. Time to head into a cyberpunk world with Cyberpunk Red Combat Zone. This is a skirmish miniature game with fast-paced action in the streets of Night City. You basically become the leader of a gang from the Cyberpunk Red RPG and fight across some campaigns, equip up your gang, hire in some mercs, and just build up that street cred. This will cost you $120 to $350 depending on how big your group's going to be. What's really neat is right in the pledge level there's some terrain. It's a fairly large side, helps immerse you in. Also a game board, tons of add-ons, expansions, different crews, depending on what faction really appeals to you. They also have a daily miniature reveal that keeps popping up. So if you're a little bit on the fence, keep checking with that to see if something comes up that you like. Not to mention the numerous add-ons that they have for terrain and scatter to help improve the look of your game as well. Next up, we have Judgement Eternal Champions. Yes, that name probably sounds familiar. Judgement, the miniature game, had some great looking models. This one is no different. These models are absolutely gorgeous. But maybe there'll be a few people a bit on the fence considering what had happened. But if you're a fan of that or you're new to it, this is definitely one to look at. It's a competitive tabletop game for 2 players that has an intuitive feel combined with tons of strategic depth. This is put on by Creature Caster, which again is another one you've probably heard for making good looking minis. This will run you about $90 for the base set, all the way up to a collector's base set of $677. That gets you a lot of items. This one is set to deliver in January of 2022. They're still pretty early on in the campaign, so there are a lot of stretch goals still to go, so be sure to give it a peek. Now, how do you feel about a junker space fantasy setting? Well, that's what Comets and Cockpits are going to bring to you. A 5e setting, where homesteaders cultivate a lost megaplanet. So this is a little bit of a different 5e setting. If you're thinking, not your fantasy so much, but you want to bring some extra space into it, this could be the way to go. They have a 4-page mini preview to look at, along with plenty of additional information on their site. This will run you $15 for the digital copy, to $45 for 2 books, including the PDF copies and the stretch goals. Or you can go $75 for the Expedition exclusive, which gives you a real-time online game session ran by Comets and Cockpits creators. Or if you're feeling real big, Auroboros, Coils of the Serpent is an epic 5e fantasy campaign by Chris Metzen. You might recognize that name as he did work on games like Warcraft and Starcraft, building worlds there. This is based on his role-playing campaign ran with childhood friends. It's the first release in the universe worldbook Lawbrand. This is the realm of Lawbrand that has 8 major cities. There's new races, subclasses, spells, and more to take on. If you're a fan of the work, or you're just looking for a new world to put your 5e setting in, this is definitely worth your time to see. Digital bundle will run you $25, Game Master $75, Collector's Edition 125, which is only available for the Kickstarter. This is set to deliver in March of 2022. Let's talk Dangerous Monsters 3D printable STL files. Now yes, we all have a bunch of STL files if you're in the mini printing world, but you're always kind of looking for something maybe a little different, fill that niche. This one caught my eye for a few different models, mainly the Flaming Skull, really neat, Poisonous Snail, and some other fun designs, including a wacky fly. They are offering a free model that you can download and test print yourself. The core set of STL files will cost you $41, or if you want to be a merchant, it'll cost you about $98. These are set to deliver June 2021. Thank you for joining me on checking out these Kickstarters. If you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, check out the podcast. A review definitely helps. You can find more links at spellstormminiatures.com, including our Patreon and ways to get in our Discord.